so there's no cold tyres going into the first corner. I know last year in at least Div 3 there was a couple that went a little bit wide going into turn 1, so it'll be interesting to see how the start is here. But everyone seems to be in position. I'll hopefully get a good camera view. And hopefully we'll get that 5 light countdown. I'll actually go on board with Clitsy for a better idea. So here we go, 3 lights, 4, 5, and we are racing in Baku. Lights out and away we go, as they say. There's an Alpine there that's made a very good start. And Clitsy seems to avoid the carnage into turn 1. I'll jump down the field as they come through here. It seems reasonably unscathed, but turn 2 is somewhere that can be a bit of a nightmare. It seems like a get. Oh, there's a spinner in the back. We've got a Williams round. There's an Alpha Tauri that's collecting a Haas. I'll try and jump round and see what we can get.
There's
a bit of issue there. Sem's got a penalty for colliding with Padre. Did you see anything else there, Hypers?
Yeah, that just looked like, yeah, I think I saw the Alpine was around back in the wall. I'm not sure which Alpine. I know it's an Alpine and a Williams. They just look very similar. Yeah, but then reversed back into the Haas, which in part then, yeah, that was just a little bit of carnage, as you said, coming through turn 2. But big.
What I can't get over, we had last year we had Rando say, how the hell do we not get a virtual safety car? As we got an issue at the castle. There's somebody around. I'll try and get on board who it is.
It is
Bennett. Aston Martin Bennett.
Yeah. Everyone else seems to have got past. They're okay. Is he out? Has he lost his wheel?
Nope, he's still there. He's had to let everybody through. Oh, he's spun round now. He's let Alan through, and then he's ahead of Sam. A lot of carnage here in the first couple of laps, but that was very scary, and if it's going to let everybody see the dangers of this track over the course of the weekend, then yep, somebody spinning there is worrying. But what I was going to touch on was like that incident at the start, not even a VSC. We only got a VSC last year for Jester's incident with holding up a couple of drivers there, so very, very surprised that...
That's a statement of intent there from Van Dorn. Goes on the inside. And Van Dorn's passed us, he went to there for P1. Brilliant move into turn 1.
Padres now just trying to reverse, and Sem's managed to avoid him, but it's really dangerous there. Sorry for missing the overtake, guys, of Van Dorn and Klutzy, but
it's alright.
I feel there could be incident.
People love seeing incidents, don't they? That's the last time I predict a Williams 1-2, says Macy.
Our pitters here are Alan, Bennett and Sem. We get a very bad timing glitch at the moment in time. Positions seem to be correct, but times are certainly not.
Yeah, I think give it a few more timing gates and they might sort themselves out when everyone's back on facing the right direction. And
just a wee quick look here. So position changes, your big gainers were Rocky Mad up 4 places. We've got Darren up 4, Smoke dropped 5. A few guys down the bottom there. Owen, Preds have all gained up well, 7 places. And 6 as well for VR and Paul. Biggest loser.
Alan's put a set of inters on.
Oh, that's a bit of a mistake.
I think we've got to look
down.
At,
I went a bit wide there, sorry.
At people like Owen, Pred, Liam, VR64 and DPT Paul on the hard tyres here have obviously gained 6-7 places each and are going to be in a brilliant position now to really stretch out their hard stint.
Same round again.
And
my only worry for those guys though, Hypers, is just the chance of a safety car here could just nullify any advantage that would have. Darren's going really, really slow. I don't know if he does have damage.
The wall there coming through the S's. They're going 3 wide.
And the pits as well. Smoke's in the pits as well. So a lot of people suffering damage. Preds on the hards is up into P7. There is a bit of a gap, but I don't think he's going to mind that, considering that he's going to have just clean air at the moment. I think Morgan's probably best position.
Tap the wall and then tap Liam for good measure. Let me have a look see if any of them got damage here.
Just going to stick on Owen's on board as they get around this tight bit of the track.
Yeah, so
that must be
it's been slight
6-7 guys that have pit already. Alan's going to be just trying to nurse those tyres round and he'll be praying for a safety car. Padre's finally made it to the pits to try and sort his damage. Streets of Baku are claiming a few victims here. We'll keep an eye on this battle for a wee bit longer. I want to try and move up to the fight at the front while they're still within DRS range of each other. See what the VR can do here.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like when you look at the drivers who were competing in Q3 and even in Q2 for that matter, you know, they've been driving. You know, they've been keeping their sort of reflexes going by driving. A lot of the drivers down the bottom of the field who went out in Q1 haven't driven in 25-30 minutes, sat there waiting, and it actually looks like they've had much better starts, which is surprising. You'd expect the people that have been driving more recently to have felt, oh, there's another overtake into turn 1. Clutzy Winter's retaken Van Dorn.
I think we're going to see that as a common theme. As I say, whoever's going to manage their battery best, DRS is going to be really, really effective here. But you're right, I'm very, very surprised at that as well. As you say, just having that downtime of 30 minutes plus, possibly just waiting for the session to get started, of course, and then the 5-minute break, compared to guys that have had lap after lap. We've got another victim at the wall, which I think is not bad order. It will be Sem. Yep, and Sem is in a very poor position.
I think he's out, isn't he? He's not moving. Oh no, he's going again, he's going again.
Just before Alan. He's now on hards. Oh, and Sem is obviously... Tyres are going to be absolutely shot. So he is going to be probably getting lapped soon because he'll have to try and cool those tyres down. Yes. And Bennett with the fastest lap as well.
And the top 4 here are sticking right on the back of each other, utilising each other's DRS, and it looks like if these 4 can maintain their composure, we could have a really, really tight battle for the race win today.
I think that's just Sem pulling out the way to let the other guys through, not wanting to hamper them too much as they head towards that DRS zone. As I say, it's one of those places where when this place bites, it bites pretty hard, and a few of our drivers have certainly seen that so far.
Just looking at Clutzy Winter as well, using a lot of the RS to keep Van Dorn back. And dropping down and looking at Van Dorn's batteries, it has a lot more. So Clutzy needs to be careful with that and make sure he's not burning too much early on in this race.
I think he's maybe a case of just try to get out the DRS and just try to pull away. Effectively get that gap. Got a little move down in a couple of places. Liam is looking to make the move on VR. VR has succeeded in defending, and with Paul and Danny, we're a bit of a battle here, just outside the points. Sector 3, I think that's Sem just still going slow to let people by it. Front. I feel, looking at the timings, like, obviously the Camo and that are in a great position. I like the idea that they're just getting towed along, so they'll keep themselves competitive, but in terms of like avoiding conflict and any issues, Morgan I'd say is in a good place, Preds is in a very good place as well, just nobody really near them to kind of affect their race, so they can just get on and focus and concentrate on getting a win. We've got Sem retiring, that's in the pits.
His car is going to re-enter the track. Joe, I'm not a fan of retiring in the pits. I think race until the end, or race until someone puts you in a wall. It's okay. He's had a tough start, and I know when tensions and feelings are high, especially around somewhere like this, you don't want to be sitting here for another 20 laps, brewing about how bad the start of your race has gone.
I think it's good there though. The car does seem to have retired before it's left the pits. It's those circuits where it releases it at a terrible place, and there's not really much you can do in that regard. As I think,
touch on the front, there's going to be an overtake move from Elite Risks on Van Dorn. I think that Van Dorn may have a slight. It looks like his front wing's fine, but he did tap the wall coming out of turn 3.
He's tapped the wall again there.
Yeah, it looks like he's escaped damage, but he did lose a lot of time to Clutzy Winter through the second part of that lap.
So I noticed at the end there, Clutzy had pulled out a DRS because it wasn't popping up in Van Dorn's car. Then, just as I was on Van Dorn's overtake to discover that, on his onboard, that's when I saw Risk making the move as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that damage is for Van Dorn. On the medium tyre, he's going to want to try and just keep out there, just to say try and keep in touch, but These two guys in front are very, very quick. A very quick Rockamad is behind. It's not going to be the most ideal for the castle section.
But it does look like Klutzy's running a lower downforce setup because he's much slower through. I say that as he pulls out gaps. He lost all his time then through. He lost that 1.1, 1.2 on Van Dorn when Van Dorn was overtaken. It's down to less than a second again. So it looks like he might have a little bit more straight line speed, but he's losing a little bit through the corners.
Yeah, we also had Bad Otter there into the pits, so he's now on a hard compounded tyre, so him and Alan are people that have pitted twice. We'll find out eventually if Alan's was an accidental slip to go intermediates. It does, the fact he's on hard
Rockamad making a move on Van Dorn here into the DRS zone. He's going to breathe past. Yeah, Van Dorn, he must have some issue. Either his tyres have completely gone, which would be strange this early on, or yeah, he has picked. And Van Dorn's. Oh!
That's a hell of a save. It's a hell of a save.
I was watching that from the back of Rockamad's car then. Heart in mouth stuff.
I was on his onboard, so.
The Merc driver. Liam making a move on VR6 into turn 1. He's going to get past. He's going to. Giving him just enough space there. That's really good racing etiquette from the two of them there.
If they get compromised by Danny, but I don't know if Danny's going to have a gap to try and filter through. The one without the DRS seems to be Liam, I think. You'll see VR ahead. It's a terrible camera again. I think Liam's there just ahead of Danny.
Danny, yeah. That is the closest at the moment, and it looks like Clutzy has again pulled that just about a second gap. Bad Otter gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
That'll be his third pit stop of the evening. He's on a softs. I think he's just going through the motions. It's a track, as I say, that's just can wreak havoc on you. I feel like as well, like that adjustment from Van Dorn to save it, it's obviously him losing DRS is going to really put him under pressure. So I'm intrigued to see how much a gap that Camel can reduce that gap to in the next couple of laps as Alan has given up in the pits as well. Please retire car before.
Oh, I think Elite's going to make a. He's going to be just slightly too far back, I think, here.
Yellow flags won't help him either. And again that the car has retired before it has exited the pit, so it will not impede leaders too much. You can see there Van Dorn dropping 2.5 seconds off the top 3, and that is as close to the wall as you can get. Back onto that profile. I was going to go back to that battle and then saw how close Risks is on the back of Klutzy.
Yeah, DPT pull. Looks like he's made a move on Owen. That's hard tyre on hard tyre there. I wonder if Owen's picked up a bit of. Oh! Owen's seen that early and taken the place back. Says thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. That's mine.
And just for added insult to injury there, Paul has decided to go a little bit wide there as VR and Liam continue the battle. Liam getting by.
Yeah, so this is what we were saying earlier about these smaller battles inside the bigger picture. You know, like the Preds has obviously dropped back 10 seconds from Morgan, expected on the harder tyre, but will inherit the lead of this race at some point. But the battles throughout the field are just incredible. So that's really brilliant driving so far. Some really nice space left. And people making sure that I haven't seen anyone run anyone into the wall yet, which is brilliant.
The other things I've noticed as well is the battle between Liam and VR and Danny is going to give Preds that chance to kind of extend a good little gap between him and the three behind. Preds is kind of in the world he's on. You could argue Morgan is as well. I feel like your leaders there are going to try and stretch out as much as they can as Camel decides to pit to try and get into that gap between Morgan and Preds. Let's see if Elite Risk is going to make a move here.
So yeah, it looks like he is. So we're talking about a two-stop race here, aren't we? Medium softs aren't going to go. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see these guys tyre wear. Oh, Yeah, he's done that just about legally there in front of Preds, but he has timed that perfectly to get back out in front of Preds on those mediums. So Camo will inherit
I'd
the
say
lead.
medium hards. I'm going to give you probably a spoiler, right, from last year. Might be my game plan this weekend, depends how quality goes. There was a cut-off point on the mediums where Sem went to me, I'm in a good position. Do you want to risk it for a podium or take the safe strategy and go on a set of hards? And I just decided 4 extra laps and I stayed out. It must have been about lap 18. Maybe 17 or 18 and on the mediums and just finished off in the softs. It's doable in last year's game, whether it will be this year remains to be seen, but Camo's committed to the 2-stop. You could either see guys committing to medium hard, medium soft. There's a lot of options at this place. Safety car can change everything as Bad Otter takes the fastest lap.
Yeah, I think the hard runners are probably looking at a 1-stop because you could probably stretch the hards out. Like saying you don't want to take the softs any longer than 10 laps, and we haven't really had anyone be out on the softs long enough now to sort of compare it against. But yeah, the
Rocket Mad Pits.
And I wonder then if there is an issue with these medium tyres. I wonder if they're not going as long, and he's gone for another set of medium, so he will be doing a 2-stop also. Medium, soft then for Rockamad. But he is going to come out in front of Camo as well by the looks of it. Yeah, long way ahead. And retain his position. Oh no, where was he? He was lost 1 position to Morgan there, but he is going to go for the undercut. And I think if that's the case and people are thinking that it's going to be a 2-stop, then we'll see a lot more of these other front runners bring their cars into the pit as well.
I'm just trying to think back to, obviously it's hard to compare it game to game. I'm right in saying I think both you and Lofty went 2-stop last year in Division 3.
Yeah, and it worked out quite well. Sort of pulling back for those last few laps. But again, it just depends how people can control their tyres. And this isn't a track that you want to be sliding through corners on. Who's that in the? Who is it? Where is it?
Mercedes, I think.
It's Rockamad.
No, it's not. It's Rockamad.
So
that's a horrible place.
Don't! Oh.
He said to reverse out, that might have been.
He just totally reversed. Might have been his teammate, you know. He started reversing, and another car had come up to go around the outside of him, and they sort of touched the wheels through. That's not looking. That's just put Rockamad's strategy down the drain. To say it nicely. That bumps Van Dorn.
I actually think the reversing was probably the best thing he could do there, just to get out of that as quickly as he could, because of the size of an F1 car, the size of that castle section.
Yeah.
A very minimal amount of margin to move. Risk was right behind Klutzy, but they are into a section of the track there's not much overtaking. The other thing I was going to add to the strategy call situation is I usually use this race in Division 2 to get my strategy. This is where most of my research came from. So coming into the first race of the weekend, it's the first Formula 1 race, it's quite tricky to know how drivers are going to call it. I always do feel the Division 1 guys are a wee bit...
Yeah, it's a shame they don't do elite on Friday, innit, so we can... I'm just having a look over Van Dorn's car, and it doesn't look like he's got any sort of damage. His floorboards look okay, his rear wing looks okay, his front wing looks okay. So I'm just wondering where his pace has gone. Because he was looking so strong at the beginning. That was Liam next to him when he was reversing. Hey guys, I know the stream is in 1080p, but it's extremely blocky. Yeah, it's a little bit blocky. I think that's just a 1080p sorts it.
And Risks is in the wall!
Oh no.
He's managed to keep it going. I've just looked up there because I was looking to see how I could have adjusted it, but yep, debris on the track. And that's going to see Van Dorn even getting second. Klutzy's pitted as well. I don't know if he's maybe saw that spin and went for it. Rockamad's over VR as well. Can try and change the bit rate quickly, but what is happening?
So I'll keep we'll
jump in quickly then.
But Clutzy Winter jumps onto the hard tyres as well, so he's going to look to take it to the end. So he is going to be under threat though from the two-stoppers coming towards the end of the race, especially Van Dorn now looking like he's probably going to do a two-stop. Or maybe not. I don't know. He's running long into this race, and maybe it was a case that he lost a lot of his time due to maybe just conserving those tyres, and he thought, you know, maybe they're not going to be able to take him as long. And he's hopefully now going to
Yeah, I was having a wee look there quickly at the situation with the bit rate. I can't change bit rate. I need to restart the stream, unfortunately. I don't think I've made the same mistake as last time where I had the download in the background, because I'm obviously on the SLR streaming account. Is there an option you can view this in a lesser quality than it is on the... I think it's just auto or 1080, which is annoying. Hopefully it picks up.
If not, you know, it was the last minute thing. We got the stream going, didn't we? In literally 30 seconds. So
Yep.
no one's the race is on. We're here. We're watching people crash into the wall. Doesn't matter what kind of block rate we watch it in.
Comes to watch, we'll run it at 7:20 next time. But I say we were literally.
Yeah, like it's blocky. I mean, I've got it up on my phone, and yeah, it's blocky, but you can still see what's going on. And that's all that really matters.
Van Dorn moves onto the hard compounded tyres. Morgan is goes through as he enters the pits, and assuming he'll move on to a set of hards as well. What probably doesn't help is the fact that I've also got the stream up, because I like to have two screens to make sure I don't miss anything and keep up the chat.
Oh, Van Dorn! Van Dorn! Van Dorn! He's exited the pit and tapped the wall. Please don't have lost your wing there. I've got all my money on you, mate.
So I'm going to give him a good camera angle to check. I'm trying to find some battles. The battles are actually behind him.
Yeah, it's all really tightened up now with this, with people pitting and bringing on their new tyres. We look at Preds there on the hard, up into 6th. Now only
no worries.
7 tenths behind Legendary Danny, who also hasn't pitted on the medium, so he's going to gain that position when Legendary does pit, and he has got a penalty, so he's probably going to serve it. It depends what kind of penalty he's actually done it.
I think Perez is going to put himself in a very, very good position here, just if he keeps it clean. Just to reply to Grunty there, that's not a problem, buddy. I say any feedback's appreciated. We'll try and make it the best experience possible. I know a lot of people like to go back and watch the races, myself included, so we can at least try and make it in as good condition. Rockemad makes a move there on Preds, keeps out the wall, those medium tyres.
Oh, he said Riggs, it's fine, don't worry. It's not Riggs, it's Maxwell. But like, just they're all Scottish. They all sound the same, but they're not the same.
We're leaving for the same
people.
party, Scotland. Do you want my party accent on? I think he's more northern than Alan. I'm central belt in common.
Oh, we've got a fight there. That's SLR Morgan behind Preds. Morgan on the fresh cards.
It's a perfect chance to do my Riggs impression as Morgan takes position 7, since he always says that. And P6, because Danny's pitted, so that's ruined my moment.
Yeah, Riggs is the voice I always remember, because he did Div 3 for 80%, 90% of last season. Oh, is that a crash there for Bad Otter? Yeah, it is. It ends set to 2.
So dear, it's a safety car right on the halfway point of the race, and Padre, how have you saved that, son? How have you saved that? Oh my word, I don't know how Padre saved that. We're on his onboard, and Jesus.
Yeah, I literally just caught it as well to try and see if I could see the crashed car. But no, yeah, safety car pretty much halfway, and do you know what? Those hard runners, or anyone else, to clock on the 13 old lap mediums, he's going to need to get himself in there on a set of hards, and he has nailed. I mean, if he hadn't had the issue at the beginning, anyone who pitted in the last few laps is really going to be kicking themselves now about that safety car.
I think Legendary Danny pitted at a good time there. Just it's unfortunate it seems that penalty's not been removed, so I'm only assuming that'll be for...
It was a corner cut pen, it was a 3 second, yeah. Sorry Maxwell, I've never heard you talk. Good teammate, I'm sorry buddy, it's fine, the stream.
Oh, I seen it. Just decided to ignore it. It's all good, man, it's all good. I'm just trying to see who this is going to benefit the most. I'm really intrigued to see how high up legendary Danny gets, because he's got right behind Darren, who I'd assume pit here, and Clock as well. So even though Clock, as I say, is going to be in that one stopper, Klutzy's pitted, so they're all going for it. But then again, shouldn't
Why
you
is
just if you
Klutzy
haven't
pitted?
pitted? I think he's just going to put another set of mediums on.
I've just been notified that
There you go.
Merckx is broadcasting. Merckx, stop broadcasting, come watch a stream. Yeah,
So I think everybody's going to get.
I'd assume, yeah, Preds, Liam, VR, Paul and Smoke obviously on the hards, or been running from the start on the hards, is a no-brainer. Is anyone going to double stack here? Has anyone not spoke to their teammate? Looks pretty clear at the minute.
What I found crazy as well is Morgan had done one lap on hards and was straight into pit again onto mediums. Everybody's in. Everybody's
I
just
was just
deciding
watching Preds
mediums
there.
to the end.
He got held up massively in the pit there. I'm not sure whether that was a release mechanism, waiting for other cars to clear out of his way, or they just had a slow stop. They are the Haas pit crew, so you know they probably put.
Well, I did say everybody on mediums. That's a lie. Camo's committed to hards. Legendary Danny's stayed out in his hards. He's pushed up to 6. Rockimad didn't have an option. He had to go softs because obviously he had done medium and then mediums again. So he is in. I think he could take them. He'd need to nurse them a lot, but he's on a lighter fuel load now.
So the big,
If he goes aggressive
the
at the start.
big one, he is going to get totally eaten up by the cars behind him on the mediums. Is Camo in second,
Yep.
on the hards, and Pred's up 11 places, in 7th on the mediums to the end now as well. Has had a stonking, you know, uneventful, but stellar drive so far to keep himself where he is on the hards, and now to have slapped the mediums on at the perfect time. And we know that the mediums are going to go 11 laps pretty safely because a lot of people did 11.
Yep. And that's why obviously they've done qualifying laps on them as well, and on a heavier fuel load, so mediums will be comfortable. I feel quite sorry for Owen. Owen seems to have pitted 2 laps ago, and obviously because everyone's had a chance to get round and do the pit stop under the safety car, they've kind of leapfrogged him, so he's been one of the guys that's maybe lost out there. Clock down is 16th. Again, he's on soft, so he'll be looking to attack, but over the halfway margin, everybody's close together, going to be in the same lap. As much as everybody's going to be fast, there is an opportunity for carnage here. There's an opportunity for someone to come through.
I think Rockamad, I think you were alluding to earlier, it's going to be very tight running that to the end, running those softs to the end. I'd hope they are a new set of softs, and he hasn't slapped on an old set from qualifying. But yeah, he'll be quick for the first few laps, but he's definitely gonna drop off pace towards the end of the race and leave himself open to the runners behind. Bennett's on the inters. What's he done that for? There must be either that's 2 cars have done that now. Either there's some kind of glitch or people aren't checking. I don't see why he'd put in. Why would the game even suggest inters? It's just so strange. That's twice. That's 2 cars have done that. Oh, they've not added the new safety car in yet as well. I don't like the Merc safety car. I much prefer the Aston.
That's what I was looking at. What have we got? There's another method here that could possibly be done. The year before, like I think it was like my second ever race in SLR, I actually like pitted and then pitted again under the safety car. So in theory, maybe he doesn't think softs are going to last. But by him pitting, the safety car is going to catch up because somebody spun, clocked round. So that really just kills my idea. I was going to say the safety car doesn't go in, he pits again onto softs, and then the freshest of the softs, he'll catch up to the safety car obviously with his tyres in a more optimal temperature than the guys in the medium and the hards would need to heat them up. That could lead them to attack, but Bardlow's saying that Bennett is the biggest clown when it comes to pitting. He did this about 4 times last season, so maybe it wasn't a master strat.
Maybe you can see rain that none of us can see.
And Clock has a 10-second, a drive-through for
Falling too far back. What?
Well, he hit the spin, and I feel as if he's maybe not caught up in enough time. Because obviously
I've
the
never
tyres will
seen
be
that
really
before,
overheated. If I'm paying it, I've got a lifeline here, because this is going another lap. This is falling right into the favour of Rockamad, I'd say, as well.
Yeah, it's a weird one, the penalty for falling too far back, because the safety car wasn't coming in. If the safety car was coming, I don't know. I didn't get a delta for not being fast enough, but I didn't think for crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him do his drive through.
The Aston Martin team, I can confirm, have put the correct
and
tyres on.
Sotty has pitted, any because he's lost his wing, so he's not actually going to serve his drive-through. He's going to have to pit again. So Sotty o'clock's actually going to be pulling through the pit again after this. He can't do it under a safety car anyway.
That's right. I'm forgetting it's not a time penalty. It's 2 drive-throughs. That's his race. He's basically going to have to serve it. I think he's got 2 actually.
Let's have a look.
Let me just quickly check that in the race direct.
Yeah.
So if he's got 2...
Oh, he has. He's got 2. Oh, no.
It basically
Poor man.
Safety car to come in, serve 1, hope there's carnage again, serve another 1, and then hope for more carnage. I think the odds of that are probably about as highly likely as my bet builder for the Leeds game, which I can probably should check the result.
Southerner says, this game is so good. I agree, mate. Love it. Salt is in the air. Do 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 do. But it's crazy.
I'm not asking
for only the 2 penalties at the minute. Only the one for legendary Danny, his 3-second corner cutting penalty, and then obviously Salty's 2 drive-throughs. 2 drive-throughs. Oh my god, I've never seen it in my life. And the safety car is going to be in this lap.
If I was Clock, I would just peel in straight this lap, because I feel with the field so close together, 9 laps to go, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. I think you have to wait for the safety car to pass the pit lane entry line. Respect to Clock for not just retiring, yeah, agreed. This is going to be an interesting race restart here. It looks like he's really slowing them up. He doesn't want to go too early. He's gone for it.
A few guys ahead of people already, and I don't even think they've passed the timing line, so that's going to be intriguing, I think. We'll get a move at the front, possibly. No, and there's a little bit of contact between Van Dorn and Risks, and that allows Rockamad to gain a position. We'll get a yellow flag in sector 1 at the back of the field. That is a spin for Liam. Smokes with an issue. He's dropped way down. It's a terrible camera angle gain. And we'll probably get some more info from what happened with Liam. The man himself. Clock didn't serve the drive-through. Get the 2 McLaren teammates battling together. We'll try and jump on that one as Darren ahead of Owen Hill. Sorry if you didn't like the camera cuts, but
everyone's got 100% battery ERS again now as well, so it's going to be really interesting.
We jump on the onboard the Rockamad here, because if he gets a good launch, I don't know, that's not a corner cut possibly, or warning. See the old handle. I always find that weird as well. I always have like a little sprinkler, it seems, in the bottom corner in that castle section. I don't know why it is, but it catches my eye every time.
It's crazy to think we've still got 8 laps to go here as well. I feel like we've been it's such a long lap for F1 standards. But the race always feels a lot longer here than anywhere else. It's like Monaco in the wet. That feels like forever.
Oh, Rockamad had a wee touch of the wall there. We might see Elite Risks get away for Camo. I think Klutzy's in a really good position here, that 1.8 second gap.
Yeah.
Camo might be a sitting duck here.
Yeah, like I said, those hards are just going to get eaten up by these mediums. So as a soft runner of... Oh! Into the braking zone, Rockamad goes. He's gone extremely wide.
Picks up a time penalty as well for his trouble. He's really aggressive there. We'll try and get an on board here with Camo. I think well done to both for keeping that out of the wall.
Yeah, I think Camo's got to understand that with those harder tyres, if he just sits and bides and waits his time, he'll have that position back from Rockamad in 5 laps time when those softs go off. Oh, not like that. That was a bit of a... definitely a bit of carbon fibre flipped up off his car then. Van Dorn, oh! crazy stuff.
Because even like that, if you're Camo, you know that Rockamad's got the penalty, but if you can just stick within his DRS, you're going to have elite risks that'll maybe even back Rockamad up a little bit, so it's not worth fighting it too much.
Further down the field, it's very, very, very tight from 6th down to 15th for training.
It seems like it's the Pred train. See Morgan all over the back of him, Padre up into P9 right behind, and DPT Paul. We're not spoken a lot about Paul, but up into 10th place on the medium tyre. So most of the soft runners have made their way up the field. Bennett will need to start making moves soon before those tyres drop off. We'll see if we can get a good camera angle here in the midst of this train. If we get any moves, we'll keep an eye on the timing screens up the top left. Seem to be pretty. Van Dorn looks good for Camo.
Yeah.
Oh, and he nearly put Camo in a wall there. It was a bit too close for comfort.
I think Van Dorn knew he needed to get that position done to have any chance of the podium. He needed to get past Camo and get moving towards Rockamad.
Also had Morgan with a move on Preds as well. I'll give him P7.
Oh, Rockamad's out. He's lost his wing. Has he? How's he got away with no damage?
End of that.
No.
I just caught the end of that. Just saw the car coming through there.
If he's got away with no damage there, I will be. My name's Bob and call me an uncle. But he hit that wall very hard.
Come on, game, give us a good camera.
Yeah, he looks fine. What? I've seen people run over a bit of debris and lose their rear wing. And he slammed it into the wall and got away with it. Fair dues.
Smoke with an issue. Because of this squabbling as well, Klotze has opened up a 4.5 second lead.
Yeah, he's going to be checking out at the front.
Safety car.
And it looks like Sotia Clock has served his second drive-through penalty and is now clear and ready to race to the end.
Imagine we got another safety car that brings Clock right into it. Would be amazing to see. Also, kudos to the guys as well, by the way. After what happened in Monaco last week, for it to be 6 laps to go, 20 runners starting, and 17 to be there at this moment in time is a kudos to the drivers. As Elite Risk is getting the move done on Rockamad, defends it well. Rockamad is going to have to resist. A few moves there as Padre moves up to P8 to get the Preds.
Sprightly screaming, "Come on, McLaren's in chat." As Darren does make a move on DPT Paul and does get past to get himself up to the final point scoring position.
Sprightly will be taking up a role as inspirational speaker after that. As we get Van Dorn up the inside. Has he overshot it? No. He's managed to keep it well, and I think Rockamad must have damage, or those tires have gone already.
I think that hit to the wall, has definitely caused something. He's not lost the he's hit the wall again.
Oh, he's hit that again.
Yeah, he's not losing any end plates, but I'm not sure how the damage model works on these cars now. I don't know if you can lose sort of middle parts of your wing. I know on the last game
Van Dorn.
Where did he pick that up? That was a tight corner cut.
Somewhere in the castle section. I had to just flick to Owen there just so he had spun just in case there was any contact there.
Oh, so now...
So if it stays the same...
Sprightly's at auto, then jinxed his fellow teammate Owen. I'll be telling that, Sprightly. Don't worry.
If he can find some pace in those hards, Camo could be in for a good shout. Morgan is one to really look out for as well, actually, because those 2 time penalties mean that Van Dorn and Rockamad are really going to have to get a move on.
Yeah, Van Dorn's found that pace again that I feel like he lost in the first phase of the race. Like he's just pulled back up to risks quicker than... And there we go.
Rockamad is struggling. There's one. I think Morgan might get the both of them here. Well, as I say, Rockamad's damage was too much. He is pitting.
Yeah, and
it seems Camo Morgan's around the outside. They keep it together, and Morgan P4 Dan picks up a time penalty, a yellow flag.
That's
and that
Danny.
Is Danny and Padre have had an issue. Dan's somehow got a collision.
Darren in the wall. Oh, and Van Dorn did make it past risks. Just sending down into turn 1. and look to pull a 3-second gap now and save his P2. Yeah, it seems
Camel
to have,
back ahead of Morgan as well.
it seems to
It's all
have
happening.
gone a little bit peaked on towards the end of this race here. I think a lot of people using this sort of, after that safety car, all that ERS, those fresh tyres, to really push each other and try and gain any last sort of extra positions they could do from where they were. I think the race was starting to lull out and dull down. But that safety car's really booted it in the bottom.
Legendary Danny will move on Darren, but I think at the moment you're looking at Klutzy comfortable winner. Van Dorn will just be looking to pull 3 seconds out on Camel, and Elite Risk will just hope to stay in Van Dorn's DRS and take that second place. So yeah, I think we might have a little bit of neutralisation towards the end. Although Morgan picks up a penalty, which with that late safety car as well means that any sort of penalty here could see them falter down a good few positions.
I'm thinking, looking at Bennett here as well. Well, Bennett was the one that pitted on for intermediates at the end of the safety car, come back at the back of the pack and is back up into 9th. I mean,
It's just the joys of Baku as Morgan takes Camel. Jump on with Bennett, see if he's any close to Paul. I think Paul might be saved by the DRS he's got on VR. You get Padre in that battle as well. Darren's pitted, so you could end up seeing smoke pop back up in the points. That's just the nature of the beast that is this track. Camel going for a move again on Morgan round the outside.
whoa! Yeah,
Oh, it's... Oh.
a bit of squeeze there. I feel like that might be a... Ooh, who knows? What am I at? Stops. Bloody hell, Bennett's made 4 stops this race. Rockamad 3 stops. So, Darren's made 3 stops as he comes out of the pit now as well. And yeah, just a plethora of 3-second penalties now spreading out on the field. Again, we look at Pred's, VR and Paul up 12 positions each, up in the midpoint scoring positions. I've just had they've had a quiet race. They've been racing each other, but they don't seem to have raced anyone else very much. Seems like they've had their own little mini race in the middle of this. Pred's 18th to 5th at the moment. Yeah.
Noticed as well, Van Dorn seems to have cut the gap on Klutzy a little bit. Obviously, Klutzy will know Van Dorn's got that penalty. It's, in my opinion, still one of the better features in the game that you can see what your opponent's got. So maybe he's just nursing it. There's somebody with an issue in the castle section. That'll be Clock. Jump to that, you can see there. Oh, he's down the escape rope. He's trying to reverse on.
That's alright. He's waiting to let go. Yeah.
But remember as well, guys, in the chat, we are only 3 laps to go, so if you would like to let us know your driver of the day, get the votes in. Do you feel it has been one of the gainers of positions? Paul ahead of VR. Let's see if we can... No, not penalties, we want positions gained. Contend they saw that. So you've got Pred's up 12, Paul up 13, VR up 11, Morgan's up 5. Klutzy's been first the whole time. A lot of options there. Let us know what you think. Let's try stuff.
I've actually been quite impressed by Camo. You know, he started in 6th. You know, he weren't exactly far down the field, but he's just had a real steady race. He's had a lot of passing manoeuvres. He's left good space for the cars around him. Yeah, I just overall think he's had a good drive.
My fear with him was with those hard tyres, be able to keep everyone behind, and the fact that he's managed to stay in 5th, well be 4th position. There's another issue at the castle section. That seems to be Padre getting out of the way there to allow guys to get through. Bennett's opportunity, his tyres are gone, I feel. I'm just trying to see what this battle is. Yeah, if Camel can keep on the back of Morgan, you'll be looking at a very tidy P4.
Yeah. And he is the only one at the moment who is, you know, the outlier on tyres. What did he start on? Camel. He started on the medium for everyone else. That's why obviously he hasn't got on the medium. That's why he didn't go medium when everyone pitted. And
Still flag in sector 2.
Oh.
That's Clock again. Morgan got ahead of Camel. But again, Morgan just needs to, sorry, Camel just needs to slot in behind.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
Can...
Van Dorn's gonna pull that 3 seconds that he needs. Padre out. I don't know if that's in the pits. Yeah, it's in the pits. Oh, you had 2 laps to go, Padre. You could have done it.
One I was going to say that might be worth looking out for to sneak a point despite an eventful race is possibly Rockemad. It depends how much you can get those soft tyres to work, because Legendary Danny's on hards has a penalty as well. Smoke, if you can get close to him, could make that move. Maybe 3 seconds is maybe a bit adventurous, but all it takes is one person to make a wee slip up in the last lap, a little bit of a misjudgment, and somehow get it. So Clock's in the pits, so he might go for fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, looking through the chat at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Preds. Shane, yeah, Camo did medium, hard. Yeah. Yeah, a few for Cam, a few for Preds. VR, says Russell. Yeah, again, VR's had a very solid race in the middle. And DPT Paul as well. They've all 3 of those that I mentioned throughout the race that, you know, they've done the 1 stop. They're the only ones in the and Legendary in the points to have a 1 stop, and to have really started at the back and really just grafted hard. But out of those 3, Preds has been the dominant driver, just keeping them all behind him. And even now in the new phase of with the fresh tyres and the full ERS. Just still keeping them behind and quite comfortably behind now as well.
That's the thing as well, you could say the likes of Preds, Paul and VR have had very quiet races, but to be honest, and everyone under the radar, sometimes you need that at Baku.
Yeah.
If you're under the radar, that usually means you've had a good result here. So credit to them for taking 6th, 7th and 8th respectively.
Just Forza Ferrari, Forza Preds. Preds in a Ferrari. Oh, is that Rockamash just DNF'd? Whereabouts is that? That's turn 3. Poor Rockman. I think he's yeah, I tried to push a bit too hard there at the end and probably just have his size, but that is going to be Klutzy coming into the final sector now for the race win.
I'm just keeping an eye on that one on my mini-map. Clock's going to get a chance to set the fastest lap, although Dan did just put an impressive one in himself. But it seems like VR has dropped off a little bit to Paul, so jump on board with your winner of the SLR Division 1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It is Klutzy Winter 830. Take a bow.
Makes that back-to-back wins. Takes it on the track.
Elite Risk second. Van Dorn in P3. It's going to be Camel that's going to take P4 after penalties, so it'll be Camel, then Preds, then Morgan. Paul will take P7, VR will take 8th. Bennett should take P9 for Aston Martin, and it'll be LP Smoke that'll finish out the points for a double points playing position for the Aston Martin team. Legendary Danny takes P11, Liam is going to take P12 for the Mercedes Petronas team, and then it'll be the McLaren Mercedes of Owen in 13 and Darren 14th, and then give him the opportunity, Mr. Clock, to see if he is going to set the fastest lap at the end of the race.
That's not another drive he's got there, is it? Tell me it's not. No, just a 3 second. But no, brilliant. I think, again, someone mentioned in chat earlier, Clock having 2 drive-throughs and to carry on racing, and you know, to finish, you know, 40 seconds back, but still to have finished the race. Massive kudos to him. It's never easy, especially when it can be 2 penalties, which we could say were probably pretty harsh penalties, but you know, he's still driven his race, and he will cross the line in 15th.
I don't think he got it. I think he actually used his deployment a bit too early, so he ran out right at the end there, but a very, very eventful race there. Fairly enjoyable, it must be said. The game gives it to DPT Paul, and it will be ARL Predators who is your driver, your driver of the day. Unfortunately, we can't just buzz in and tell him that, like Rosanna Tennant, but congratulations to the Preds. Let's see, so it'll be, I believe, let me get a top 3 that we need to get in. It'll be Klotzy, Elite Risk, and Van Dorn. As well.
Do I need to get him? Yeah. Klotzy. Yeah, he's just added me as a. He just added me as a friend. Klotzy. K-R-S-E-K. Oh, I bet he's watching us online. Oh my god, we have an SLR Stoffel as well in the league.
He's a bit popular, isn't he?
I don't see any of them. Are you all online?
Have a look at mine and see who we've got.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thing as well, half of them won't add the main comms team, so I think that'll need to be your end, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people show us offline these days, and they don't like it when people see they're online. People might invite them to parties and stuff. There we go. Corey Morris, invite to a party, and I'll add him as a friend as well while I'm here. Good stuff. I need risks. Don't have to search him as well. Elite.
So while Hypers is getting everyone in, we'll just quickly give you the rundown of what is still to come the rest of the weekend. If I can find the SLR calendar, it would be lovely. So, last night you saw some Formula 2 action here. You won't see that again until the 7th of October when the Formula 2 team hit Austria. For Division 1 it'll be next Friday night. They'll be at Canada. That'll be Gilles Villeneuve circuit. If you do like what you saw it with SLR, Baku will be back tomorrow, 6 PM with Division 2 and 9 PM with Division 3. And then your elites will be driving on Sunday. The McEwen division, of course, will be driving on Sunday at 7, I believe, unless they've changed the time. So we'll just see if we'll get everyone
quickly. SLR Van Dorn, is he actually SLR Stoffel? Because I've just put SLR Van Dorn and SLR Stoffel has come up. And it says he's in multiplayer lobby, so I'm going to invite him. If it's not, maybe that makes sense why he'd... But how...
That is SLR Stoffel.
How has he got 2 gamer tags? How have you got 2 gamer tags? What is this?
The burning questions. Never mind. It's like,
Never
never
mind
mind
the
how your
race.
race went.
Tell me these things. We got everyone in there. So make sure your boxes are ticked, boys and girls. We don't discriminate here. Oh, and they're both showing us offline. That's why I couldn't find you. Do we all have mics, boys?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. Good to hear. Good to hear. How'd you find your race, everyone? Okay. All good. Have fun.
Yeah.
Annoying.
I think I had a little glitch.
Who was that? That was Van Dorn talking though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With a glitch with what?
Jeff told me I had damage, but then when you look, everything was the usual green. And I was just losing time in that last sector to everyone.
We thought you had dive. I said from the bit, it was probably like 4 or 5. He tapped the wall out of turn 3, and I was like, it looks like he's probably picked up a little bit of damage there. Couldn't see any on the car, but we just saw the time drop. I was like, something's happened there.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. Obviously, make sure your boxes are all ticked, lads. And then we'll quickly get on with the interviews and let you guys get on with your Friday evenings.
Would you want to work at Hypers?
Do you want to do?
Busy.
You do 3 and 1. I'll just do the middle one.
No problem at all. I need to try and remember who was first, second, and first.
That stuff.
So I'm hoping I've got it correctly. So it would have been SLR Van Dorn that would have been.
Yeah.
Yep. So how did you find it, buddy? How did you find it around the streets of Baku? How was your overall experience?
I enjoyed it. On this game, I seem to be enjoying most of the tracks that I didn't enjoy last year. It was obviously annoying with that damage that I got, but obviously on the screen it said I had no damage at all. But apart from that, it was a good race. I enjoyed the battling.
Just a case of, with that 3-second penalty, just try to manage a a gap effectively. I know it was quite tricky to get ahead of Elite Risk and then move away from there. It seems like kind of maybe even the DRS, how powerful that is around here, was kind of maybe a downfall, even getting further up possibly.
Yeah, the DRS is really powerful on this. So once we got past Risk, straight away to straight, if he was in my DRS, he would just go straight past me.
And final question, since we're trying to keep it quick this year, we're not going OG James on you. Five races in, how are you feeling about the season so far? Are you optimistic for how you've settled into the new game?
I am happy with how I've settled in. Hopefully I can try and go for the championship this year.
No better expectation than that. So congratulations on your podium, buddy, and we'll hand it over to Hypers.
Cheers.
That's Elite Risks.
Brilliant. So yeah, we'll start off Risk again to talk us through the start of the race. It looked like you spent a little bit of time behind Van Dorn, and then obviously when he picked up a little bit of damage or no damage, you sort of took over and led him a little while. Can you just talk us through a little bit about that? Yeah,
I mean, I started P4 and then ended up getting up to P3, and I think it's a train of me, Van Dorn, Klutzy and Rockamad. Yeah, that lasted for quite a while until I think Van Dorn obviously got damaged and started to pull off, and then me and Klutzy were left on our own at the top, and I was just managing to stay in his DRS. I wasn't quick enough to get past him, but I was able to stay in his DRS, and then I found out the hard way not to use the overtake on the final corner on the straight. But I mean, I couldn't have got damage in a better place. So yeah, but then the safety car came out, and that kind of saved me a bit. And then I'll take a P2 in the end, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good, that late safety car. I think for a massive spanner in the works, watching from the outside, a lot was happening. And again, obviously, I think you ended up taking the second place on track as well. So I'll follow up what Maxwell was saying. How do you feel like your season's gone so far, Andrew? And what are your expectations for moving forward?
Yeah, well, I've got back-to-back P2s now. I wasn't expecting that going into Monaco. The first three races weren't the best. I mean, I made a few mistakes in Bahrain and Spain and China. But yeah, I mean, back-to-back P2s, and hopefully I can keep getting a few more podiums and just some good points for the rest of the races.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy the champagne, and we hope to see you on the podium again next week.
Yeah, okay, cheers.
And we'll finish it off with your race winner for today. Speaking of back-to-back, it's back-to-back victories for Klutzy Winter 830. How did you find that?
I was just honestly really shocked, to be honest. I didn't expect to be talking to you lot this week, to be honest.
Do you feel it was a case of getting out in front and then just staying out of trouble?
I knew if I pulled a 1 second gap and I could keep it over that, I knew I could I could just keep going. Because I would have no threat from behind. But the setup I was using was it was good through the corners, but wasn't good through the straight. So I knew if I got a good exit out of a corner, I could pull away.
Yep. Now, with Hypers was saying that in the booth here. Now I was kind of thinking, I'm like, it does feel like you're trying to rinse through this battery. It's just a case of just trying to get out of that DRS to pull away. I need to ask as well, victory here, victory at Monaco last week. Are street circuits a favourite of yourself, or is it just a case of just being two really good performances?
Well, they're my favourite before, but they definitely are now, I can tell you that.
Certainly two good wins there. So, like everyone else, anything else you've got to add regarding the whole races? Do you feel it was comfortable, or do you feel like because it is Baku, it was a bit more maybe a sweat than it looked? Because I know we obviously had the chance to put under the safety car again and just get back onto those medium tyres. Or another fresh set at least.
It kind of felt comfortable, but it was kind of hard as well. I think the only bits I've really struggled at was the exit the castle section. I kept losing it there, and that's where I lost the majority of my time in qualifying as well. But it felt good.
It's always good when you can feel good and get a victory as well. So I'll finish up with the same as we've asked everyone else. We're a couple of races into the season. You're obviously with back-to-back wins. Is the championship the aim for this season then?
I'm going to aim for it, but again, it's not. It's again my first season here, so if I win it, then obviously I'll be really happy. But wherever I finish, I'll be happy really.
Just taking up the learning experience. Well, again, congratulations on a fine victory around the streets of Baku. As you guys already know, we'll not have any F2 for a couple of weeks. They'll be back at Austria But Division 1 will be back next Friday night at Canada, and of course the rest of the weekend is filled with Baku action, 6pm and 9pm for Division 2 and 3 respectively, and it's Sunday 7pm for the McEwen Division. Remember as well, your top 3, Klutzy Winter, Elite Risk and SLR Van Dorn, and your driver of the day was the ARL Predators. From myself and Hypers, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.